the only African king who refused to bow to Queen Elizabeth and chose suicide instead. Atta Ame Ogboni was a revered Igala king. In a meeting held in Kaduna, which hosted all paramount traditional rulers in Nigeria and which had the Queen of England in attendance, Atta Ame was forcefully asked to take off his cap to greet the Queen of England, as others had done. Some say he was also told to shake the Queen, but this was a taboo for the king. Atta was not like the others and would not follow suit. It was taboo for Atta to remove his cap in the public. As he took off his hat, the entire hall was completely filled by a swarm of bees, which emanated from the cap of Atta Ame Ogboni, as he removed it in order to greet the Queen. The Queen of England and the other rulers in the meeting ran helter-skelter, except for the friendly Oba of Benin, who was asked by Atta Ame to go out before he removed his cap. The hall became empty as some were stung by the bees, and the meeting ended. According to history, Atta Ame Ogboni was asked to be arrested and handcuffed by the security people, which they did, but the handcuffs fell off his hands. He was later locked up in a room on the instruction of the northern rulers and guarded by the security personnel, but only to find out later by the personnel that he had left the room. Yeah, I'm as shocked as you are. When the security was taking him to be locked up, he told his driver, Amanabo of blessed memory, to take the car to Ida while the security locked him in the room. He then warned Amanabo not to look back until he felt a cool breeze in the car. Though Amanabo argued a little, not wanting to leave Atta there, he later obeyed and started driving back to Ida from Kaduna. After some time, he felt the cool breeze in the car and Atta Ame was seated inside the car. The incident in the meeting made many traditional rulers, who were mostly northerners, to be angry, especially making kings run in such a manner because of bees. This became one important sin, and it was one more sin too many. The Queen of England was also not happy, and she and the northern leaders started looking for a way to remove Atta Ame from the throne, since he was getting tougher and uncontrollable like others, as well as searching for an obedient replacement. Igala had various cultural festivals, one of which is Ocho. Ocho is celebrated before farming starts, and it is the time when Atta Igala prays to God for sufficient rainfall, bountiful harvest, and success in hunting. It is celebrated in the bush, and the venue is called Ere Oko, where the Atta will hunt until he kills a buffalo or a strong animal. The community in either where Oko takes place is called Ogo Efa. He performs a little sacrifice to the ancestors using a fowl in the process, and this is to find out if there will be blessings or problems in the land after the Oko. Before this time, the enemies at home among the Igala people, especially those with connections with the leaders of the northern region, were working hard to get any evidence, either true or false, which could be used to remove him from the throne. The blood of the animal used as sacrifice at Ocho ground now became what the enemies would use against him. A petition was written by these two Igala people to the Queen and some other northern leaders, stating that Atta Ame was sacrificing humans during the Oko festivals. Since they were looking for any means to displace him with, judgment was quickly passed for him to be dethroned forcefully, even when investigations were not yet concluded. In addition, all the Igala cultural festivals, including the Oko, were immediately banned, and this remained for almost 63 years, until Governor Yahaya Bello unbanned them based on the appeal of the present Atta Igala. Already before this time, the Oba of Benin, who had such friction with the British, had already been dethroned and banished from Benin. So Atta Ame Ogboni knew that at that point, no matter what spiritual approach applied, it could only postpone the evil day, as his enemies would never relent until he was removed by them. The result of the blood sample, which was taken from the Ocho venue and taken to the University of Ibadan for analysis, had arrived, and it was proved that it was the blood of an animal and not human. Sadly, the revered King Atta Ame had passed on before the result was brought. But Atta Ame, being very sure that he was wrongly accused and framed up by his enemies, especially those from Igala who wrote the petition against him, marking the beginning of his planned dethronement, made some pronouncements before his death. He was allegedly quoted to have said that the person who wrote the petition against him would have that hand dried up, and that the leader of the gang or petitioners would be buried 3 times, and all that came to pass. While the hand dried as said, the other was buried as stated. First was the leg, second was his hand, and the third was himself, all buried at various times at different locations. In addition, as this information of his dethronement was given to him in a meeting from where he was supposed to go back to Ida and prepare to leave the throne, he stopped on the way in another Igala land called Dekina. That was the place where he committed suicide. Before taking his life, he was allegedly quoted to have said that the town, Dekina, will be popular, but its development will not be as much as its popularity. He was also quoted to have said that because Igala was the genesis of his ordeal, there will be disunity among the Igala people until the reign of his own blood, as Atta and all Igalas, irrespective of their locations, will be reunited again. I think from the reconnection and reunification of Igala people across Nigeria and beyond, which has been going on and is still going on under the reign of his son, Agabaidu Idakwo Ame Oboni II, the present Atta Igala. That pronouncement of reunification of Igala people is also coming through. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comment section below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.